Look at this dude.
What's poppin' everybody? Hey man, look, if you haven't already, if you are new to my channel, subscribe to my channel. I need y'all's help. 100K 2021. We're trying to hit that. You feel me? That's a goal I'm trying to hit, no cap. Hey man, smash the like button, click that bell as well if you haven't already done so. All my post notification members that are already on my channel, that rock with me, that live with me, feel me, comment down below that you are here. Post notifications with y'all, you feel me? Heavy. Hey man, my description down below has all my social media link platforms as well: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Discord, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat. My second YouTube channel is down below if you want to join my members only for exclusive access and content. Go ahead and join my members only as well. I'm doing follow backs to everybody that does members only. You feel me? On Instagram and Twitter, all that good ish. Hey man, whew. When I say this is a very, very highly requested video, it's highly requested, y'all. I kid y'all not, man. Every day I got y'all want me to do this, and I haven't been able to do it because the documentaries have been off YouTube for a minute, and now all of a sudden they're live again. So ever since they became live, y'all have been on me, you feel me? And I put y'all heavy. That be on me too. That just be like, yo, they're out. You need to do the reaction. You need to do the reaction. Alright, bet. Look, this is how we finna do it. There's 3 parts to the documentary. What I'm finna do is today I will do part 1. That's what we're about to do right now. Tomorrow we'll do part 2. The next day we'll do part 3. And then we're gonna start diving into, I know a lot of people wanna see reactions to the Trapped with the Prince family. That will be coming up shortly as well. One of the main reasons, to just give you guys a little insight, is these videos are very long videos, which are very long reactions. I'm not too sure if you guys like very long reactions, so it's not me steering away from not doing them. It's just I'm trying to make sure I give you guys what you want, but I'm getting so many requests about these to where it's no questions asked. Y'all want these. So hey man, we are here for the Prince family, aka DMB Nation, the Prince family documentary part 1. So this was uploaded January of last year. So I'm very excited. I'm very curious because this, I'm pretty sure, is gonna give me more insight, more of a sneak peek of the Prince family. Y'all know me, I'm a big fan of the Prince family. I do a bunch of reactions now for the Prince family. Been doing it for the past like 4 months at this point for the Prince family, you feel me? So it is one of those things where I'm genuinely excited. So I ain't gonna sit here and talk y'all's ears off. We gonna dive right into the reaction. Don't worry, we got it, man. Less talking, more reacting. Let's dive right into this reaction. Let's go. I'm also gonna say forgive me in advance if I'm literally just going to enjoy the documentary. I know a lot of my reactions, I'm pausing, I'm laughing, and all that goodish. Obviously, a documentary is not meant for like jokes and fun and games and stuff. This is gonna be, so if anything, I'm gonna be talking probably a lot of insight about what they're talking about and their upbringing when it comes to being who they are, the Prince family. You feel me?
We see like my grandma and my mom and stuff standing in front of the screen door, and my stepdad had pushed my grandma through the screen door. Me and my brother was like, oh no, fuck this shit, whatever, woo, let's get it, man, let's go. After that happened, I remember the police showed up, the police came, the ambulance, fire truck.
Yo, I just got, ooh. I have chills on my whole body right now, just hearing them say that. Yo, this is actually gonna be probably emotional from like.
How the hell they gon' judge us when we came from the bottom? We ain't never had enough. We was living life rough. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. How the hell they gon' judge us when we came from the bottom? We ain't never had enough. We was living life rough. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. Now we good, now we straight, now we up. Now we up.
Right when I opened the screen door, my stepdad, you know, he hit my brother in the face with a pot, and then he stabbed me one of them long barbecue forks, some thongs, whatever. And then I was just in shock, man. I ended up falling on the ground, side of snow, bleeding everywhere. I remember neighbors coming outside. They was bringing me blankets and pillows. And then the ambulance came, the police came, and they cut my whole shirt off, whatever, blood everywhere. And then they ended up putting me like in a stretcher, took me to the hospital and stuff. And then like after that, you know, that night, we never went back home. They put us in, I guess, their custody or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't like no juvenile center, but it felt like it. Me and my brother, we was crying and stuff because we didn't know where we was going. We knew we wasn't going back home to our mom. We ended up staying with my auntie for like 6 months, and she basically, we was in foster care with her for 6 months, and we had to like change schools and just basically change our whole lifestyle. It just wasn't the same anymore. Like when I was 17.
Oh my gosh, y'all. One thing I'm going to say is I'm definitely going to have a different outlook when it also comes to the Prince family. Once again, this is going to be nothing but a lot of knowledge about the Prince family. Once again, now that we're hearing Damien and his upbringing, this is news to me. Never knew anything about this, and this right here is already giving me a different look at Damien, bruh. Damien, I can already tell, has been through... He's been through it, bruh. He has been through it. And to see where he's at right now, that's nothing but respect to this man's no cap, bruh.
I got emancipated. So, my mom ended up signing her rights over to my dad. And my dad was like, you ain't 18 yet. You got to move in with me. I'm still responsible for you. So I ended up moving in with my dad. I was 17, I had no money at the time. So I told my dad, I was like, hey, you know, I used to ask for money from my dad and stuff. He never gave me no money. He always told me, hey, you gotta go get a job or something. But I felt like my dad, my real dad, I felt like he was doing more for his stepkids than he was doing for me, his real kids. I felt like, as my dad, you're supposed to support me. So he made me get a job. And I was just like, all right, cool. And I went to apply for Little Caesars. They said, the only thing we have available is shaker boarding. I was like, what's shaker boarding? They said, a person that hold a sign in the corner and shake the sign like this. I actually felt embarrassed because I was on the corner of like State and Coliseum. That's where like all the traffic be at. You know what I'm saying? So everybody named mama seen me, friends from school seen me over there. I was just like, I ain't gonna lie. When I held the sign, I was holding it like this over my face. So you couldn't like see my face, but people still see me on the corner. I got my first check. It was like $200. I was like, oh, hell yeah. I went inside. I told the manager, I said, listen, bro, give me more hours. Little Caesars was going good for me. And I still was with this girl, which is my ex-girlfriend now. And then, you know, we wanted something new. So we decided to move away. And we was about to move to Arizona. Me and her, we both quit our jobs. We packed up everything. And after that, we hit the highway. We dipped out. All we had in the car was clothes. I guess, like, the dude that she was messing with, like, I guess this dude that she was messing with took her virginity. Okay, he took her virginity, and females be like, oh my gosh, you know, he took my virginity. They be on their feelings about that stuff. That stuff really don't matter to me. When we was down there, like, every day I'd be at the crib, because at the time, that's when I was trying to do YouTube, but I was playing like video games, NBA 2K and stuff. It really wasn't working out for me. This was like years ago. When I always be up all night editing video, so like I wake up in that.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna give me a different perspective.
But like every morning, her grandma or like her aunties would ask her to go to the store and stuff. But the whole time I was sleeping, she was actually going to the store for her aunties, but she actually was meeting up with her ex-boyfriend.
See, that right there will F up a man's... Just F up a man in general when it comes to future relationships after that. And to see the relationship he's in right now with Bianca... once again, to see where he came from, to see where he is at now, bruh. I know it wasn't easy for him, but he did it, bruh. This is, bro.
That took her virginity. Basically, just like played the shit out of me. One day, she came in a room crying, and she was just like, I don't want to be with you no more, Damien. I said, what you mean? I thought it was a joke or a prank, but she was like, I'm done, I'm through. But I didn't want to believe it. She basically made me quit my job, move across country, sold everything, gave up everything. And I said, what am I supposed to do? She said, just go back home. You know, like when couples get into arguments, people leave. They, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm about to go cool down. I'll be back in a couple hours. So that's what happened. I came back. She wasn't there. And so I was just like, all right, cool. So I ended up falling asleep inside the car. outside her people's house. And then I woke up in the morning, knock at the window. I woke up, I said, what the fuck, what's going on? It was the police. The police was knocking at my window, and I rolled the window down and said, what's going on? They said, sir, you have to leave. I said, what you talking about? It was just like, well, neighbors called the police, said somebody was sleeping outside in their car. I said, oh, me and my girl got some argument, but you know, we working on things. It was like, well, why don't you go up there and knock on the door? I was just like, let me just call her. She blocked me. So I'm asleep outside.
You know, look, I know Damien's ex is feeling dumb as ew. I know she's still watching this man's YouTube. I know she's still just in her tears every day. Because look at the man that Damien is now, that this ex-girlfriend once had and played. I know Damien is shitting on everybody out there, bruh.
Right. In the car, in front of her parents' house, or in front of her auntie's house. I was just like, she answered her phone. I was like, I'll call back in a little bit. He was like, to be honest, I don't think they want you here. And that's what the police officer told me. So that leads me to believe that one of her people called the police on me for him to tell me that I don't think they want you here. You know, so I had no choice at the time but just put gas in the car, and I just drove back to.
So you've got your own business and you're doing everything you can to promote it, but marketing doesn't.
Go back to Indiana, but I already quit my job. I ain't have nothing. So me and my brother moved into an apartment together, and at the time I was working at Little Caesars, and I started doing YouTube. At the time I was like taking YouTube seriously, and I had like my first channel that I probably had like 100 channels on YouTube. One of my channels had like 20,000 subscribers on it. And, you know, I was making a little bit of money. Long story short, my highest check was like $700 for the month. This was like years ago, $700. One day, I'm playing the game, recording my video, the lights cut off. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm thinking it was a power outage or something. You know what I'm saying? So I looked out the window. I see everybody else, Chris. They apartment still lit up. I called my bro. I was like, yo, nigga, what's up with the lights? He said, oh, bro, I ain't paid a light bill in 4 months. I said, nigga, what? Man, I called the light company. They said, I think our light bill was like $1,000. So I had a brand new camera. My highest check on YouTube was like $700. I'm about to get fresh, because that's a lot of money back then to me. I had to basically get my YouTube check up, my biggest one that I had, and then I had to take my camera back, or I had to pawn my camera just to pay the light bill to get it back on. After I paid to get that stuff cut back on, my brother, he just basically just stopped coming around. But we had a crib together, and our rent was $750 a month. That's not including water, trash, and all the other stuff. So my brother left me hanging. I couldn't afford to live on my own there, but I was trying to manage. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to manage month to month. The next morning, we in there playing a game, me and my cousin, and all I hear is do at the door. I'm like, who the fuck at the door? And I walked into the door, I heard do. I looked at the peephole, and it just, nigga kicked my door in, bro. Like when the door flew open, my head went back, I almost broke my nose. It was 4 niggas at the door and shit, bro. And them niggas was like, they came to rob me. They came to rob me for what I had.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my god. Damien has overcame so much, bro. Anybody that hates on him or the Prince family or anything, bruh, you can't do nothing but put respect on this man's name. Period.
Had much but a couple game systems, TV and shit. They came to rob me. It's crazy though, because the dude that came to rob me, It's my best friend, little brother that I was cool with for 9 years. When my best friend was like, can I bring my little bro over? I'm like, yeah, that's your little bro. He came through, we kicked it, and he came back to the crib 3 days later, but he brought 3 other niggas that was from Chicago. I took off to the back of the apartment run. I said, call the cops, call the cops. These niggas trying to rob us, whatever. And then the cops ended up picking me up, taking them to where they put them over at, and I had to ID all 4 of them niggas in their faces, like right there on the block. After that situation happened, you know, I was just very uptight with a lot of things. I was going back to the casino back and forth, and then one night I got lucky, and I made like $20,000 that night at the casino. And this is after my brother then played me with the light bill, the rent. I bounced back on my feet. I had 2 cars at the time. I had this Charger, I had a Dodge.
Yo, once again, that brother played him, left him hanging. Best friend's little brother and gang robs him.
And I had like a 300 Chrysler. And I let my older brother, get my 300 Chrysler. And one night I came home from Little Caesars. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, who the fuck banging at the door? I opened the door. My brother just stormed in the house, locked the door behind him. He said, bro, the niggas trying to get me, bro. They trying to kill me. They trying to kill me. I was like, who? I looked out the window. These niggas had a bat, just like bashed my car in. I guess the dude my brother was with, this white dude he was with, he got jumped out the club. And then my brother jumped in to help him. And then the dude my brother was with stabbed one of they dudes. So he drove right across the street to our house. And these niggas in 3 cars deep from the club, they followed my brother. My brother hopped out the car, didn't even turn it off. And these niggas just came out with bats and started bashing my shit in. My brother ran upstairs and I ran down because I was in my drawers and shit. I had no socks. I was just in my drawers and a t-shirt. I said, get the fuck off my car. And then they almost ran me over. They didn't know who I was. I mean, I just ran outside.
I just started delivering for DoorDash and I absolutely love it. I was looking for extra ways to make some cash.
But, you know, after that, me and my brother, we ended up kind of like falling out after that situation because he basically just, I feel like he got one of my cars destroyed, left me with the rent, all that shit. Then I ended up just losing everything again and I ended up getting the eviction. At Little Caesars, I was the assistant manager at the time. I was a trainee manager, so all the new people that came in, they had to come through your boy. So what I did was, you know, I seen Bianca over there, I had a trainer. I was just like, man, it was a prep station. I was just like, come over here. I'm about to teach you how to put pepperonis on this pizza or whatever. So, you know, I'm going over there teaching her how to, you know, put the pepperonis on the pizza, talking to her, trying to get her comfortable because I know what I wanted at the time. You know what I'm saying? I already had my eye out.
We was on the prep station,
and
I remember we was putting pepperonis on pizzas or whatever, and he was like, hey, you know, what's good? You know, the Three River Festival coming up. Are you going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going with my best friend, woo-da-woo.
You know, we was talking. She was smiling and stuff, feeling your boy. And I was teaching her how to, you know, make pieces. And then we went over to the landing station. I taught her how to cut pieces, boxing, and stuff like that. And then that's when I was just like, hey, you going to the festival this weekend? And then, you know, I ended up seeing her at the festival. We ended up walking past each other.
And he was like, hey, what's good? And I looked at him for a quick second. I was like, who are you? And then I had to think to myself, I'm like, oh, that's, you know, blah, blah, blah from Little Caesars or whatever.
Bitch, she saw, Damien? That's you? I was like, yeah, nigga, I'm from Fresh, yeah. You ain't think I was gonna look like this, huh?
And then he was like, let me get your number. I'm like, all right, bet.
Spitting
So then
that
he
game.
gave me his phone and I put my number in or whatever.
I don't know if I asked for her number or I don't know if she just threw me her number. But she gave me her number. I ain't gonna lie. After the festival was over, I hit her up. It went right to voicemail, as if like she gave me a fake number type stuff. I called it again. I'm like, this girl done gave me a fake phone number. She called me back, was like, hey, what's good? I was like, man, what's good? What you want? She said, nothing, chilling. She said, come slide to my friend's house.
And then we met up. We was in the car, you know what I'm saying, talking on like the side of the street. We was just in the car.
Them hoops are big as hell. They're touching the shoulders. The earring is literally touching the shoulder. I don't see how that's comfortable for y'all women. You feel me? There's nothing against it. For me, it's all about comfortability for me. You dig what I'm saying? But like, that looks uncomfortable. I'm sorry, y'all.
Talking, and I remember he had braces, and I was like, them braces so sexy. I'm like, you need to eat those.
Came up over there and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I had this little 2004, what I have? I had like 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix. Had a little touchscreen TV in there, the slaps in there, rims on there. So, you know, I was feeling like a little boss. You know what I'm saying? And then, I guess that night went good because she texted me in the morning, said, hey, good morning, whatever. I said, good morning.
The next day or whatever, he came back, and like we seen each other like off and on for like a little bit. I was still in school, and then he had told me he had a girlfriend, so we wasn't really nothing serious or whatever. But yeah, I mean,
This is the girl that
he was just
played
cute.
him?
When I first seen him, I was jealous.
Bianca, she was just playing though. Bianca was like playing games. So I was with this girl. Like after I had came back from out of town, I ended up moving in with a girl.
Oh,
But
it's a
she said,
different
you can
girl.
sleep on my couch. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I'm like, okay, cool. She was a rebound. But I really wasn't having fun. Because, like I told you, I was hurt. I was hurt because she wanted to be with me, but I wasn't ready to be in a relationship because I still couldn't believe this girl broke up with me after 5 years. So I ain't gonna be with nobody. But she kept trying to force it when I was just like, I couldn't get over my ex. So it was like, how can I be with you? Even though you open your doors to me, I couldn't do that. Me and Bianca, I ended up working back at Little Caesars again. And Bianca was there. So I asked Bianca, did she want to go on a date? And she was just like, yeah. So, I took her to the movies. I still was living with a girl, but I wasn't with her. And then after that happened, I went to work at Little Caesars one day, and I got a text message from the girl I was living with. She was just like, your stuff outside. I was just like, huh? I was like, what you mean my stuff outside? I pulled up to the crib, police already there. The police was outside the crib. And then I pulled up, she's like, hey, Mr. Prince, you Damon Prince, right? I was like, yeah, what's going on? Your ex-girlfriend, I mean, she's like, your girl, I'm gonna call her my ex-girlfriend, but we wasn't together. She was like, oh, your ex-girlfriend called. She said, you have no insurance, no license, expired plates, all this stuff. Which was true. So she tried to get me arrested. But the officer was like, I can't do nothing about it because you're on private property. And so I was just devastated because I ended up, this girl I was with for 5 years left me. Then this girl ended up calling the cops on me. This is 3 weeks after I moved back to Fort Wayne. But the reason why she did all this, called the cops on me, the reason why it led up to that, is because remember I told you I went to the movies with Bianca. I left the tickets in my back pocket. But I had my pants folded up in the closet, so this girl was going through all my clothes. So I'm thinking, why is she going through my stuff like this? You know?
Because this girl had feelings for you.
I ended up moving in with my friend for like a day. And then me and my girl started talking again. And then I moved back in with her. And 2 days later, after I moved back in with her, I came to the crib. She threw my stuff off a 3-story balcony. She threw my computer, PlayStation, all my clothes was out on the lawn of this apartment edition, of a 3-story apartment edition. And then called the cops on me. And then the cops came. They was about to arrest me for domestic violence because my stuff was thrown out on the lawn. She had the locks changed on me and all my stuff thrown out on the lawn. Broke my computer. All my clothes was on the lawn. And I just left it there. And I just left.
So when they had moved Amy into a different store, I wasn't really like fazed by it. I mean, I was, because, you know, I was excited to see him every day at work.
Little Caesars, they ended up transferring me stores because they found out me and Bianca went to the movies.
He wasn't really like my main priority. Like I was still in school, I had other dudes talking to me. So when he moved, it just didn't really, it didn't really bother me, to be honest.
Me and Bianca, we was like on and off. So it really wasn't, we were just texting here and I'd be like, hey, yo, what's good, you trying to chill? Sometimes she don't even text me back for like 3 days. I'm like, okay, F her. I was talking to Bianca from time to time, and I started talking to another girl, then another, and I was messing with like 23 girls at the time.
Did he say 23 or 2 to 3?
Talking to another girl, then another, and I was messing with like 23 girls at the time. Did
he say 23 girls at the time? Y'all correct me. 2 to 3 girls or 23 girls? I'm gonna just say 2 to 3 girls. 23. That's excessive. I don't think anybody gonna be willing to sit there talking to 23 girls. That's just not.
New Year's Day. Well, actually, it wasn't before New Year's Day. It was like Christmas break, cause she still was in school. So she was like a junior. I think Bianca was like a junior that year, and she told her mom. She told her mom and her dad. Well, she told her mom and her stepdad. Well, her mom and dad, whatever. She told them that she was about to stay at her real dad house for like 2 weeks, her whole winter break. But she lied to her parents to really stay with me. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, she kind of bad. I was just like, man, I might as well just go ahead and just swindle her, cuff her. And that's what I did. She stayed with me for 2 weeks. And she proved something to me. You know what I'm saying? Because we did a lot in that 2 weeks. She stayed at my house. We was getting it in. You know what I'm saying? We was doing our thing. And then I was just like, shit, Bianca the real deal. So I was just like, you know, F this girl, F that girl. I basically cut all the girls off. Cause I ain't want them no more, cause Bianca, I was like, she bad, light skin, thick, beautiful eyes. She was about to stay at her real dad house for like 2 weeks.
This is beautiful,
her whole
y'all.
winter break. But she lied to her parents to really stay with me.
During that 2 weeks is when I just kind of felt like he never really asked me out. It's just kind of like, you know how when you just feel that you're in a relationship with somebody? It was kind of just like that.
I was just like, man, I might as well just go ahead and just swindle her, cuff her. And that's what I did. She proved something to me. I was just like, shit, Bianca the real deal.
Now, my grandma, she lived about an hour away from Fort Wayne. Like, when I initially got up, I felt really lightheaded, and I didn't feel good. So I texted my mom, like, hey, Mom, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel good. I'm getting lightheaded. My stomach hurts. She was like, are you pregnant? And I looked at myself, and I'm just like, no, I don't think so. Not, you know, I don't think I'm pregnant. And she was like, Bianca, you better go get a test when you're down there. If not, you're taking a test when you come home. We rode our bikes to Dollar General. I got a pregnancy test, and I came back home, and I just stared at the test for the longest time. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to take it. I'm scared about the results. I was 17. I was in school. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready. And I remember my sister and my cousin, they stood outside of the door when I was in the bathroom taking the test. I took the first test, and I waited. I didn't look at it. I just waited. And I looked at the test, and there was a plus sign. And instantly, I just started crying. I don't know if I just started crying because I was nervous, if I was happy. I really didn't have emotions at the time. I just like, my emotions were like everywhere. And I yelled to my sister and my cousin. I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. What am I gonna do? I'm in school. Mom's gonna kill me. You know, I was just scared.
I got a phone call from Bianca. It was probably like around I was on break, so it was like around 11:30 a.m. I was on break. She was like, Damien. She didn't even call me. She didn't even text me. She called me. She's like, Damien. I said, what's wrong? She was at her grandma's house when she found out. She was like, I'm pregnant.
The first person I called was Damien. I called him and I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm pregnant. And he was like, oh my God, for real? I'm so excited. We're going to get through this. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm happy. I wanted this. I wanted to be, you know, I wanted you to have my first child. And he was just going on about how happy he was.
But she was like crying, but I felt like I was ready for a kid, you know? But she was crying and stuff. I was like, it's going to be all right. You don't even need to cry. I said, I got you.
And then I text my mom. And when I text my mom, she didn't reply for the longest time. So I'm like, okay, why is she not replying? Is she mad at me? Like, what's going on? And she texted me the worst message that any parent could text you. She said, I'm disappointed.
She was just like, I'm scared to tell my mom and this and that. I'm like, tell her. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to support you.
So when I got back home, my mom was like, you're going to tell your dad you're pregnant. And I was like, no, Mom, I can't tell him. And so I told Damien, and Damien actually came over with me to tell my dad that, you know what I'm saying, we was having a baby, and I didn't know how to break the news to him. I sat at the table and I just stared at him. I was like, it's something I gotta tell you. And he was like, what? And Damien knew that I couldn't tell my dad, so Damien stepped in for me, and he was like, she's pregnant. I went into the doctor.
That is a true man right there. A true man right there, y'all. Damien not having to, but wanted to do that. Wanted to be there for her in every step of the way, including announcing or telling family about the pregnancy. Because it's not easy. Especially if you're at the age of 17. Bruh, that's not easy. That's not an easy situation. You feel me? But for Damien to step forward, to be a man about it, not only be excited about it, but also took the initiative to have Bianca's back through the drama that may have been erupted within her family. Much respect to Damien, bruh.
And I was having like these really bad cramps. I just couldn't take the cramps. That day, I went to work. I was working at a nursing home. I was working in dietary aid, which means I just take the people their food or whatever. And this stuff just came out of me. And I'm like, what is this? So I went to the bathroom, I used the bathroom, and my mucus plug came out. And I looked at it and I'm like, no, this can't be real. I text my mom like, hey mom, this stuff is coming out of me, it won't stop. What do I do? She was like, Bianca, you need to get in the car now and you need to come home. Then we went to the doctor, and on the way to the hospital, I texted Damien, I called Damien, he wasn't responding. I believe he was playing basketball or something. And when I got to the hospital, they was like, you're 1 centimeter dilated and you can't leave. There's no way we can stop this labor because your water has already broken. And I'm like, I was 32 weeks pregnant, and
oh wow.
At that point, there was nothing I could do about it. He was gonna come regardless. I was scared for my life because a baby's not full term until 36 weeks, more like 40 weeks. And I was just like, how is he gonna survive this?
That's crazy, y'all. They really went through a lot of
They were
obstacles.
like, it's okay, we're gonna have the NICU team ready in place. Whenever you deliver the baby, we're gonna take him immediately, put him on all this other stuff. And at 3:37, Monday, February 9th, I delivered my first child, and I didn't even get to hold him.
Ah, dang, bro.
He was 2 months premature. He was in ICU for 2 months. And in order for...
Once again, I got chills all over. I've been had chills throughout this whole video, but for the ones that don't know, I had my first child over 5 years ago at this point. And when I tell y'all that feeling of having your first child, and at this point, I also have a second child that is almost 5 months old at this point. But your first child is probably your most emotional childbirth that you will go through. I had a good first child experience. I got to hold my son right when he was born, and I got to bawl my eyes out like crazy holding my son for the first time. I cannot imagine having a first child and not being able to hold him. I cannot, bro. That is so upsetting. That is so upsetting, y'all.
We couldn't take, when he was born, we couldn't take him home or anything. And every day, if we wanted to see him, we had to literally go to the hospital.
They let me take a picture with him, and they took him away immediately. Actually, when he was born, he was 4 pounds, 5 ounces. And when I first seen him, he was hooked up to, When I first seen him, he was hooked up to all these cords, and he had tubes going in his nose. I don't know if it was my fault. I blame myself for having him early because I was the one carrying him. I went to go see him every single day. I was in school, I was working, I was doing everything, and still I went to go see him every day by myself, reading him books, talking to him, holding him skin to skin to try and make him get better, because I'm staring at this baby that I created and there's nothing I could do to help him.
I wanted my son to be at the crib with me. But Bianca, she wanted DJ to be with her, and I wanted him to be with me. So she said, skip it. She packed her stuff, her and DJ stuff, and she ended up moving with me in my apartment that I have.
So I brought DJ home in March, and then a month later, because my birthday had passed and I was 18, so I packed my stuff and I just left. And when I moved in with him, life was good. DJ was good, everything was good, and then we started kind of to hit rock bottom.
I ended up getting fired from Little Caesars because they found out we had a baby together. They ended up firing me, so I had no choice but to get it, on my own.
You know what? I'm never eating Little Caesars ever again after this, bruh. You gonna fire someone after finding out some employees had a child together? What? Huh? Little Caesars, you cancel Little Caesars, bruh.
And I started gambling. Things was like really good for me. I was making probably like a lot of money. It was probably like anywhere between like $7,000 to $8,000 a week. I was getting that money from online, like gambling and stuff, like betting like these sports games and stuff like that. Because I was really good at, you know, predicting what was gonna happen. And I got addicted to gambling, and I ended up like losing like all my money. And then, you know, I have a job, and I couldn't even pay my bills no more.
They had no money. I remember one day he told me, he was like, we just have to go. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We have to go. He was just like, we just got to pack our stuff and we just have to go. And we just packed everything up in one day, put it all in a U-Haul truck, and we just sat in the U-Haul truck for the longest time, and we're thinking to ourselves, like, where are we going to go?
Only thing I had left to my name was $1,000. I started to get behind on my rent. And so when it was time to renew my lease, the lease office was like, they said, either way it go, you got to get out of here. I said, why? They said, because you made too many late payments, whatever. I paid my rent, but it was always late.
We actually went into this motel. It was in New Haven. Right when you turn left, it was the first motel on the left. We asked them, do they have any, you know, rooms available? And they said yes. They gave us one room. I still remember the room that we was in. I remember the room. I remember what it looked like. I remember what it smelled like. It was a nasty smell. It just motels. They just stank.
You know, it was one bed motel. Just me, Bianca, and DJ. We all slept in the same bed and stuff.
It didn't really have nothing in it, and we was living in it for, I think, a couple weeks.
The hotel cost us $400 a week, and only had $1,000. So the first week $400, second week $400. And only had $200 left. And so that week, that third week, I had to figure out what it is I was going to do next. So, you know, it got to the point where that $200 ended up gone. And Bianca, she had got a job though, like that same week.
I remember we had got approved for.
Oh my God.
I just started delivering for DoorDash, and I absolutely love it. I was looking for extra ways to make some cash, and
for this one apartment. When we got approved for this one apartment, we didn't have nothing but a bed.
You know, it's better than not having anything at all. But we still had no money because, like, you know, like later down the line, we was able to pay our rent. I wasn't even working at the time. I lost all my money. Got fired from my job. I ain't have nothing. So Bianca, she would take care of me and my kids.
And I was the only one working, and our rent was, I believe, like $484, $500 a month. I was only bringing $600 home every 2 weeks.
She was making enough to just pay the rent, but we still had no money. We was digging in the car for change, through the seats, through the couches. We was asking her parents for money all the time. Sometimes he'd be like, oh, I only have like $10. He'll give us $5. He'll keep the other $5. We started sharing cheeseburgers and stuff. You know, it got to the point where we was sharing meals. I still was hungry. We still was hungry, but we had to like save like our $2 or $3 for tomorrow, for we could make sure we straight the next day.
And since I was the only one working and, you know, busting my butt, it was really hard. But then, you know, we came back up.
One day, Little Caesars, they called me back. They were just like, hey, Dave, we want to give you a job again, but this time we want to pitch you at a different store because you can't be at the store you came from where Bianca was working at now. So I'm like, okay, cool. So they hired me back in as a co-manager. So right off gate, I was on salary. Things were smooth. And then the store I started working at, this girl worked there, but she liked me, but she had a boyfriend. But I didn't care if she had a boyfriend or not. I was with Bianca, you know what I'm saying? She told her boyfriend that I disrespected her or something. Her boyfriend came up to my job with somebody else when I was inside working, and they scratched up my charger. They keyed my car. So, you know, I was like, all right, cool. And next time I seen them, I knew what it was. My dude was like, hey. They was like, hey, what's his face up front? Whatever, they up front. I went up front. I said, oh, what's good, nigga? Woo. I was like, hold up real quick. So I went to clock out because I didn't want to fight when I was on. I didn't want to get into a fight when I was on the clock. I went outside, took my shirt off. What's good, nigga? Woo. I was about to fight one of the dudes. You feel me? But his friend was acting like they was about to jump me. I said, all right, hold up, stay right here. So I went to grab my gun off the car. They was trying to jump me, so I went to grab my gun. Niggas started crying, bro. I called the cops on me and shit. Police came. Then I had a meeting like the next day with the owners of Little Caesar.
How is I can't see. I'm watching my language. How is a girl ass nigga gonna try to do some ill will ish to this man's and then cry when a glizzy gets pulled out? You wanted that smoke, bruh. I respect Damien, bruh. Damien's a real nigga, bruh. No cap, bruh.
And then her mom, I ended up getting fired, bro. I got fired 2 times from Little Caesars now.
Cancel Little Caesars, bruh. Cancel Little Caesars, bruh.
It was like around tax time, and me and Bianca was getting our tax check. You know, like at the end of the year, you get to like claim your kid and stuff, get like a little bigger check. When I moved with my dad, I sold my computers, I sold a lot of stuff because I needed some money. So I had no choice but to pawn my stuff. So, you know, when I got a tax check, I was excited. You know, I bought a new computer because I was on YouTube just scrolling around. I was trying to figure out another way to, like, you know, make money. And I seen somebody on there, they were streaming NBA Live. I was like, these niggas over here streaming NBA Live, running ads. I was like, man, let me try this shit. So I did it. First night, gained like thousands of followers and my money. I was like, oh, I made money off this. Let me do this some more. I was doing it every night. I did it so much, I started making like $2,000 or $3,000 a night. I got this little small check, probably was like 20,000. And what happened was I got this first check. I was like, man, you know, nigga, I lost my car. Nigga, it's time to go get another car. So I love the.
See, bro, one thing I regret so much, bro, is not hopping onto this YouTube platform years ago. Years ago. I started this channel. I don't even want to say I started the channel. I made my YouTube account years ago. Just to, you know, have a YouTube account and watch YouTubers and subscribe to people. And it's like that, post a video here and there or whatever. But never, like, took it anywhere. I never got serious with YouTube until last year. That is crazy, bro.
So I went to go buy another charger. And that's when I bought my red charger. You know what I'm saying? I put, like, this huge down payment on my charger for, like, $10,000. The long story short, NBA wrote me a letter. They was like, listen, nigga, if you don't stop this right now, we gonna sue you. So I'm like, oh, no. I ended up just stopping. So I had to find another source of income. But before that time ended, I had another check that was supposed to come for like $30,000 the next month. But YouTube ended up shutting my channel down. Like, that $30,000, it never came. But I was looking forward to that check. So it put me right back in the hole. I didn't spend all this money on this down payment for this car. This check I was supposed to get for $30K, it didn't come. So, you know, but what I did was, when I got that check for like $20,000, when I put that down payment on the car, what I did was I ended up buying more computers. I bought like 2 more computers, like 3 monitors and shit. So I had myself set up for anything, gaming, streaming, whatever it is I wanted to do, because I upgraded my equipment. You know, so, you know, I had to find another way to make money. And I was telling B, I was like, I think we should do like this couple YouTube stuff. Because I knew about YouTube. You know, I think we should do this couple YouTube stuff. And she was like, no, I really don't want to be on YouTube. Woo.
I remember sitting inside of the bedroom. Damien was inside the game room. And he came in the room yelling at me. I'm like, why are you yelling at me? He was like, I told you we need to do this YouTube stuff. There's other couples out here doing YouTube. We need to do YouTube.
Around this time, she was pregnant with Kyrie. She was pregnant with my second kid. And this is around the time me and her, we were just getting into it a lot, man, because money was just up and down, and, you know, we wasn't for sure if we wasn't gonna have enough money for this, so it was all over the place.
At the time, I didn't want to do YouTube because I was shy of cameras. I was shy of seeing people. I was tired of people seeing who I was. And he was just yelling at me, and I'm like, stop yelling at me.
And I was just like, listen, NBA shut me down, and I'm not about to work no regular job ever again. I just can't do it no more.
No cap.
And she was like, why? You need to get a job, you need to have money. And I just said, listen, YouTube is the wave. We need to make this happen.
And it came to a point in time where I'm like, you know what, Damien, you win. Let's do YouTube.
One day, you know, she did YouTube, whatever. She was like, oh yeah, this is easy. I said, yeah, I know it is. And we made like $3 the first day. I was like, all right, we did like we were doing reaction videos. The next day I was like, let's do 10 reaction videos. And then our money went up like $6. I said, yo, babe, if we start doing 15 videos a day, our money gonna keep going up. And we started doing 15 reactions a day.
Everybody starts from somewhere, y'all. At the end of the day, when it comes to people trying to call me out, oh, you clout chasing, blase, nah. I'm a reaction channel. I'm starting from somewhere. Y'all know me right now. I'm sitting at 36K right now. I'm a small ass YouTube account. You feel me? But I gotta start from somewhere. When I upload multiple times in a day, I'm talking about I at least try to get 5 videos up. But right now I'm aiming for 15 videos in a day. Right now, it's on average, I would say about 6 to 8 a day right now. I'm on average, depending on what's going on in the day. But I'm on that same wave, you feel me? When it comes to pushing out content, pushing out your personality. Y'all would not know about me if I wasn't doing reactions, correct? I gotta start from somewhere. Reactions are a good way to help your individuality. I can't say it all at once. I just said it. Y'all know what I'm saying. My personality, I just want the world to see me. I want everybody, because I can entertain everybody, you feel me? I know what I can bring to the platform, you feel me? But y'all got to start from somewhere. And I know when it comes to reactions and stuff, I know I love watching YouTube anyways. Why not watch YouTube with y'all? You feel me? But anyways, I was about to go on a whole different rant right now.
Started doing challenges, man. And fast forward time, our first YouTube check ever was $18,000 for 1 month.
So I guess I could say, or whatever, Damien was right. He was right about the reactions. He was right about the YouTube. He was right about everything. And I didn't want to believe him. He did tell me, he was like, you just have to believe in me.
Well, she was working full-time at the nursing home.
Sounds like the talks me and Ramona have.
At Little Caesars and working full-time, doing 15 videos a day on YouTube. And I was like, shit, fuck it, Bianca. Let's just quit your job. Let's just go all in on YouTube. So shit, she was like, all right, cool.
Yo, these are the same words, bro, that me and Ramona, y'all, when it comes to YouTube and stuff, you gotta be all in. You gotta be all in. And for me, I'm all in. You feel me? I'm all in. Invested into this tube. You feel me? Look.
And she quit her job. And then the money ended up coming. The $18,000 ended up coming. And then the second check on YouTube, our second check, was $100,000. Our second check. We made $100,000 in 30 days on YouTube. And then after that happened, we was like, shit, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? She ended up quitting the nursing home. She ended up quitting Little Caesars. And we just went all in on YouTube. At first, she didn't really believe in the vision.
I don't think it's possible anymore to make 100K in a month on YouTube unless you got, like, literally, like, unless you're PewDiePie type-ish. But back then, how the money was when it comes to YouTube is way different than it is now. So 100K probably back then is now equivalent to probably like 20K now. But, bruh, oh my goodness, y'all.
Let's just say she believed in it now. For some reason, it was something about the increase in the bank account that made her a believer.
See, money talks, y'all.
I felt like everything we touched, you know, has been successful so far in everything we did. And I felt like we wanted to take things to the next level. We wanted to kind of like upgrade. And, you know, me personally, I felt like music was, you know, the next challenge, the next phase.
So we started doing music.
Y'all didn't know I did all the reactions to the music videos.
Damien was right. I have to give him his props because everything that Damien has told me, he was right.
I used to be a rapper back in that day. And, but I felt like it wasn't the right time, you know. But I feel like now is the right time. Because, you know, I got my girl with me, you know, and that's how the song came about, Plays with My Bae.
I don't know. I never really see myself becoming into, you know, like becoming an artist, like actually like doing music. I remember he did like a couple songs way back then, and he showed me his music, and I was like, okay. He always told me, I'm gonna have a hit before I turn this on. I'm gonna have a hit before I turn this on. And I'm just looking at him like, you keep saying that, Damien. You keep saying. Keep saying that. When is it gonna happen?
The music ain't really work out by myself. Let's just do it together. And boom, our first song we did called Plays with My Bae, that had 1 million views in 2 days. So we was just like, hold it real quick. Maybe we should start taking this music stuff seriously now. Because everything we do, it tends to be successful when we do it together.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they need to do more music, y'all. No cap.
You know what I'm saying? I started actually like feeling myself, and I felt I felt good, you know, just being in a studio and saying lyrics that actually meant something to me.
I love my wife, and you know, I want to do everything with her. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need nobody else but her. You feel me? Her and my kids.
Catching plays all day with my babe. Blow a check with her every single day. Catching plays all day with my babe. Stay loyal when the mother niggas play. Catching plays all day with my babe. Blow a check with her every single day. Catching plays all day.
To me, our future looks mighty bright, man. Let's get it, man. Let's go.
Y'all, that is gonna be the reaction for part 1. I'm not gonna lie, I am so happy I did this. So much different. Just my perspective on the Prince family is so much different. I've already loved the Prince family. I already messed with them as it is. I already support them as it is. And y'all know me how it is. You know, I talk my ish. I say what it is. But at the end of the day, I still root for them. You feel me? But this definitely put me over it, where it's just like, bruh, much, all that respect, bruh. Salute to the Prince family, man. Part 2 will be out tomorrow. I definitely am doing part 2, y'all. Hey, man, if y'all made it this far in the video, I know we're coming up close to an hour. But I greatly appreciate it, man. Everybody that's on me right now, requesting these vids, I got y'all, no cap. This is crazy, man. No cap, man. I had chills the whole video, man. No cap. Hey, man. I love y'all. I love y'all support. No cap. We 100K 2021. Subscribe. Smash the like button. Comment down below everything that you guys feel about this video. Until next time. I'll see y'all next time. I'm out.